Yes, so welcome all. So we are also live on YouTube. Let me just share the link here so that you can also maybe share with your loved ones. So there's a link for the live YouTube that will be there even after the presentation, after what we share in today. I hope most of you, as you're following Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, you've noticed that
Lawrence, it's okay. Continue.
yeah, just trying to switch off the YouTube because I was hearing my voice twice. So yeah, saying the whole of this week, we've all seen what Bitcoin has done. I think the last 2-3 weeks, and I guess it's been a time where a whole lot of people filled with emotions. I think I've had like just this week, I've had like almost calls, me and telling me, you know, me how to like teach me how to cryptocurrencies. And I was like, what is causing people right now to have interest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? And I guess it's one key thing. People have seen what Bitcoin has done in weeks. It's if you had bought 9,000, if we check the price of Bitcoin today, just allow me to go and so that we can see how much Bitcoin is standing at today. You'll be shocked to learn that if you have just put just a little bit of your part of your portfolio into Bitcoin from 9,000, today we are talking about 16,000. So with this comes a whole lot of emotions. And one of the biggest emotion is fear of missing out, FOMO. A lot of people will FOMO when they see things going up. And that's the reason that's why you hear people saying you might get an entry at the wrong time because you might go in when people are liquidating to diversify to other portfolios. And this has brought me to really think deeply this week because again, like we said, it's only taking around 3,500 for Bitcoin to hit its all-time high of 90 or 2017, which was around 19,785. So so what will help you as an investor, because this is not only whatever I'll be sharing with you, though we really gear or we talk much about cryptocurrency, it won't just be based on cryptocurrency. I want you to think about broadly about any investment you want to make, anything you think of diversifying your capital or your money into. You need to control and to get to know these few things I'm going to share with you. So allow me to go to my presentation within a few seconds so that we can just get it done. So I had prepared something here. Um, so allow me to share my screen. I hope I'm audible enough. And I hope you can all see my screen. I hope all you can see my you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, great. Now, I was just doing research, and one of the guys I follow a lot is Hakanun. Hakanun is one of the person who has been around, really talking about not only cryptocurrencies but also other tech investments and stuff. And they do a whole lot of research. And this week, I was just going through their website, and I saw these stuff they published some times back. And you can see from my screen, it's saying 6 ways to keep your emotions under control when trading cryptocurrency. And it's good as a person who wants to diversify. Like I said, not only in cryptocurrency, maybe you want to go to stocks, maybe you want to invest in gold, you want to go to real estate. There's some things you really need to get to understand because investing is a whole, it comes with a whole lot of emotions. So basically, number one key point he talks about, and why he did this or why we were reading about this is that this guide is designed to help you avoid letting your emotions dictate on your trades. Like I said, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in whatever investment you want to get into. These are some of the pointers you really need to get your mind into, and you really get to understand how you will tackle. So of course, he starts by buying and trading cryptocurrency can be an emotional experience. And let me share about this. I think most of us have been in the cryptocurrency space. You've gotten into one crypto and it goes all the way up, and then after a few days, you see it tanking to levels that you cannot even understand, to levels that you cannot really explain. And it's good to note one of the key, I usually call it maybe one of the key risks in cryptocurrency is volatility as an asset class. Why? Because the price is based on demand and supply. You cannot control that. Market forces will always dictate whether whether a crypto is going up or it's coming down. We have no control over that. And of course, it's fast-paced, and there's a lot of different kind of trades and purchases to make. So if you're a newbie, this is one thing I usually tell people: trading cryptocurrencies and trading forex, these are two worlds apart. You cannot really like come in on board and think that it's one thing at the same time. So of course, he talks about some people try to make money off the volatility of cryptocurrency prices through short-term day trading. These are people who just buy for short term, and then they sell them. They just buy and sell them just to get those just few markup or few percentage, a few percent, and they're good to go. Others are looking to hold for long term investments and hope cryptocurrencies will buy more. Cryptocurrencies they buy will be a store of value. This is another way of you investing. So you can come in the crypto space as a person who is just doing normal short-term day trading, or you can come into the cryptocurrency space as a person who is buying as an asset. You're looking for long term. You're looking for long term. A person who always looks for long term is not a person who is concerned about the price of Bitcoin yesterday and the price of Bitcoin today. They don't care. I'm buying this cryptocurrency. I'll check it after 6 months. I'll check it after 1 year, and I'm good to go. I don't care what happens in between. A person who does short trades is a person who will be at their computer. You're having coffee or you're talking to them. They are on their phone. They are just checking. And at times they smile, at times they frown. You really don't get to understand why they are doing that, but it's because they have active trades going on. Active trades going on. So as you are coming into the crypto space, it's good for you to, number one, get to understand, am I coming here for short term? If you're coming for short term, uh, just know that there are things you need to know, and I'll be talking about that. If you're coming for long term, number one, don't invest a whole lot of cash that you need tomorrow in the crypto space, because you don't know how long term can be. Like I always say, it can be 1 week, it can be 1 month, it can be 3 months, it can be 4 years. Moving on swiftly, it's good also to know this. Hakan talks about all these makes buying and trading cryptocurrency fun and potentially profitable. It's good. The word here is potentially. So there's some, I think for us who've been in the crypto space for quite a while, there are some cryptos we invested in and they went to zero. There's some cryptos we're still holding. We don't know whether they'll ever break even. They have gone maybe minus 90%, but you're still holding on to them, hoping that one day this crypto will go up again and maybe we'll recoup our money. We have had also to close some trades or some cryptos because they went all the way down to insignificant amounts. I've done that several times. Why? Because at the end of it all, the info, and I'll be talking about where do you get the info before you put your investment. But it's good to know that it can also be charged with FOMO, fear of missing out, and fund, which creates a risk of making decisions based on emotion rather than facts. And I think this is the biggest thing today I want us to talk about. Do you really make an investment based on facts, or do you base your investment do you take your investments based on emotions? And I guess in trading or in any investment, emotions most of the time they really get to get us to really act or not act at the right time to mitigate the risk and avoid losing funds in the cryptocurrency market. It's crucial to keep your emotions in check. it's crucial to keep your emotions in check. There's one of the clip I usually love referring to by Mark Douglas, and he talks about the psychology of market, all these emotions. He talks about them over there, and it really took me a whole lot of while before I came to really understand that cryptocurrency space is not something that you wake up each and every day and you do a whole lot of things. I'll be talking to you. So let's go on. The following are guides designed to help you avoid your emotions dictate your trades. So I hope you have a pen and paper. I'll just be going through them. And number one is to make a plan. Number one, you need to make a plan. The most important thing before starting a trade is to have a clear idea of your goal. Is when you're in there. The most important thing before starting to trade is to have a clear idea of what goal is, what your goal is when you're investing in cryptocurrency. What is the goal? And your goal may be maybe how much do I want to make? Is it short term? Is it long term? And before buying any cryptocurrency, ask yourself these questions. Question number one: how does buying crypto fit with your finances in general? How does cryptocurrencies fit with your finances in general? That's the first question. And to continue that question, it says what? Do you have any other savings? Do you have any other savings? Apart from what you'll be holding in the cryptocurrencies, do you have any other savings? If not, is crypto the best way to start investing? This is another crucial question you're gonna sit down and ask yourself as a person. Is crypto the best way to start investing? And then the other thing is, would a safe vehicle make more sense to start with? And by this, I mean, what other safe vehicles do you really understand when it comes to investing? That's why I usually say, or when I was starting, I said there's so many other things that you can check. So the other question you need to ask yourself when you're making a plan is, can you afford to lose the money you are thinking of using to buy crypto? Can you afford it? Can you afford to lose the money you're thinking of using to buy crypto? This is another crucial question you're gonna ask yourself. You're gonna ask yourself. And then the other thing is, do you know about the risks and the volatility of cryptocurrency market? I think this is something we take for granted. A lot of people jump on board because they see an upward movement, but they get scared when they see a downward correction. So, do you really understand the risks and volatility of cryptocurrency market? And the other thing is, how will you use your cryptocurrencies? Do you want to buy and hold, or do you want to be a trader? Do you want to trade? The other thing, the second thing you need to do if you're coming to the crypto series is that you need to do your own research. We always say, do your own research, DYOR, do your own research. There's no expert in this field. Like I said, we are all students. I read 24/7, 365. I'm online. I'm always looking forward to people who have good information, people who have crucial information that can help me scale up wherever I'm doing. So it's critical to do your background research in cryptocurrencies you might want to buy and the underlying technology. Like I usually say, remember, if you're getting into the cryptocurrency, one crucial thing is what? You need to understand what is the use case of any crypto asset you're coming to be. Do you understand the developers? What is their goal? What is their vision? Can you follow their roadmap before you put all your money in there and get to see whether this crypto will be adopted to a point where the prices will go up? So be sure you read the project's white paper. Look for cryptocurrencies backed by good technology and an active community. This is key. Two things that give crypto price rally is number one, adoption, and the other thing is what? The technology behind, the developers behind it. So you really need to understand what you're putting your money into. And those are the things. Though these two things are no guarantee of success, they'll help you to better understand what you're buying. It's like if I want to go to real estate and I understand nothing about real estate, I'm gonna look for somebody who's been there for long. They've had a whole lot of projects and they're gonna guide me through. If I want to go to gold, I need to really understand what is there and how can I tell real and fake gold. If I want to go to the money markets, I also need to get a person who has not virtually somebody who just has the information, somebody who's been there, they understand the market and they can help me really help me in doing my own research, not really help me in making my investment. Point number 3 is that you're gonna choose the right trading exchange. And I guess this is one of the key things I usually tell people. If you are to get into the crypto space, at times you'll need to exchange your crypto for fiat currency. If, for example, like in Kenya, for example, we don't have a whole lot of places where people accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So for me to make any, even to fuel the car or even to do any purchase, I need to change my crypto to fiat currency. Now, to do this, you need exchanges. You need exchanges. But for you to do trading, remember, you might buy a crypto, maybe you use $10,000, and in the next 2-3 years, it's $500,000. I'm just giving an example. Now, you need to get to choose the right platform where you will do your trade, because again, like I said, liquidity is key number one. How easy is it for you in any exchange you have? Is it easy for you to change your asset to fiat currency and withdraw? And the other thing is, how big is that company in terms of them mitigating risk in terms of hacking? Remember, like we always say, not your private keys, not your Bitcoin. So wherever you're trading, remember, you've put your cryptocurrency or your asset in someone's platform. They are in a third party platform. So which makes it prone. If that exchange is hacked, you cannot sue them. So this is another thing you really need get to understand. If I'm, for example, if I'm to trade with Binance, how is their liquidity? How well do they mitigate the risk of hackers? How many attempts do they get? How well have they really, like the last few years they have been around? How well have they managed to keep hackers away and to keep your funds safe? That's another key thing you need to do. Get to choose the right trading exchange. And one thing you also need to also check when it comes to exchanges. Number one, location. Using an exchange in your country helps meeting legal requirements. It's also easier to make deposit and withdrawals in your local fiat currency using your bank. So these are some of the research you need to do. There are some exchanges that are not allowed in some countries. So if you have to travel to another country, will you have access to your funds? That's the one thing you need. So location is key. Number two, the coins and trading pairs. At times you might be in an exchange and then you have you have maybe an alert of a trading pair that can make you good money in long term or even short term, but maybe the exchange you are in doesn't have that particular cryptocurrency trading pair. So this is another thing you need to check when you come into crypto space. If you're choosing a cryptocurrency exchange, you're gonna know how many trading pairs are allowed in that particular exchange, so that I don't miss any of opportunity that is there. So take a look at the exchange the exchange you want to use, what coins are available, what trading pairs, can you buy cryptocurrencies with fiat deposit only or with any other cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. And if you're looking for long-term investment, an exchange with basic pairs will be the best. If you're looking to speculate on market day trading, on the other hand, you may need an exchange which has advanced trading features. So there are some exchanges that have very good trading features where you can even do stop losses. You can have an exit price. So wherever you do your trades, you don't need to keep on checking. Automatically, they can help you do that. So these are some of the research you need to do. And the key thing I was talking about when it comes to exchanges is what? Security. A platform security is critical. What kind of logging procedure does the site have? The stricter it is, the better. Make sure the platform does not uh, does does everything possible to protect your funds from hacks. I think this is the biggest risk we have in the cryptocurrency space or any online business, hacking. And if a hacker can access your funds, they are gone. Remember, you cannot know who really like uh, who hacked your account if they hacked, because there's no name, there's no any details. It's just a wallet address. So number one, we talked about when it comes to cryptocurrency, 6 ways to keep emotions under control. Number one, we said of you're gonna make a plan. Number two is do your own research. Number three is choose the right exchange. And number four, we are talking about know your limits. Know your limits. You have to know how much you can spend and stay within that limit. How much you want to spend depends on your plan. Remember, number one, the plan, you need to know that. Investing in cryptocurrency carries significant risk, so you should only spend what you can afford to lose. Once you set limits, stick to it. Do not decide to spend more than a whim or because of FOMO. This can lead to disaster. This can lead to disaster. And I think most of you guys who have interacted with me, you know, I always say, and I repeat it again and again. Uh, First of all, come in the space, just have experience before you decide to put all your eggs in one basket. You're gonna know. You're gonna have that emotional check of knowing your limits. And this is the reason that's why I always talk of diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Just diversify. And the other thing is that take advantage of limit orders. This comes when now you're getting into trades, you as a person. These are some of the lessons that we teach at Decrypt Edge on how you can do all these stop orders, limit losses and stuff. So this one is for now a person who is exactly putting the trades themselves. A story for another day. I'll just go through that. And then the other thing is that don't obsess over market charts. I think this is one of the things I usually see people. You're talking to them. They're just checking like Bitcoin came down to this much. It's going up for this much, and they keep that the whole day. This is one thing you need to avoid. If you are for long-term cryptocurrency investor, put your trades, be at peace, and don't really look at the market set. There are people who do this each and every other time. There are people I follow. Their work is to do analysis. Each and every other time, they're sending you analysis, they're sending you signals and stuff. But at the end of it all, it's the nature of cryptocurrency sector prices fluctuate dramatically. And if you follow this, your emotions will be up and down. And it can really keep you out of check if you really don't control these, don't get obsessed with the charts. And one of the things I usually say is price can automatically change in seconds, which creates profit opportunities. That's where a lot of cryptocurrencies traders make money, the volatility. That's where you make money. At the same time, the volatility can be an emotional roller coaster. I have had people call me in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. asking me what is happening. Emotion roller coaster. Watching the market charts can cause your blood pressure to rise and trigger emotional responses, leading either to panic selling or buying high as a result of FOMO. Let that thing stick into you, because as Bitcoin is rallying towards the all-time high, the next all-time high, I think we need to control our emotions. And bull market causes a whole lot of emotions, because I remember Bitcoin went up to 19,780 something, and within a few days it was at 11,000. And a whole lot of people made their choice of investing between 14 and 19. That's when they bought. But again, because when Bitcoin corrected to 3,300 in 2018, a whole lot of people are liquidating their asset. Why? Fear of panic selling. You buy when the prices are high, you sell when the prices are low, and you always lose. Why? Because you cannot control your emotions. So it's good to steer away from these charts unless you're doing analysis yourself. So while the market charts are valuable, I speak from experience in saying that starting at them staring at them 24 hours a day is not the best way to keep your emotions under control when you're buying cryptocurrency. So this is one of the things I think even when I was starting also, I was so keen on checking the charts and stuff. Nowadays, I can go even a whole week without checking anything. Why? Because I understand. So in conclusion, buying cryptocurrency and trading crypto can be exciting and potentially profitable, but it comes with risk and high emotions. The point laid out above can help you keep keep a level head, and I think that's the goal of all of us. If you can keep a level head, if each and every other time when you see markets going up, you don't freak, you don't really like tense. This will help you really be profitable in the cryptocurrency space. Before I hand over to Louis to give us the news, as I was also doing this market research in terms of emotions. This is article that was done by Scott Meta. I hope all of us can see that. And Bitcoin trading, 7 tips to detach your emotions from your portfolio. Because I think, I guess today, because of the calls I've got the whole of this week, I just felt like it's good we keep our community, the people who follow Decrypt Edge and their friends, if we can all have our emotions at check. I think we'll have a really good ride. So let's take a look at some of the ways to remove emotions, the enemy of every trader. And it's not only the enemy of every trader, it's the enemy of any investor. The enemy of any investor. I think I'll just give an example before I go to this. I met a friend of mine who got into real estate, and he bought some apartment somewhere. He bought two apartments in a flat somewhere. And back then, there were only two flats in that neighborhood. So, of course, the potential was very high. And they put a lot of millions, in those apartments. Now, apparently, some investors have come just right next to where they bought the apartments, and they have put four new flats. Four new flats. So he was telling me from 100 and something units, currently that place has over 700 units. Now, to shock you, when they were making that investment, the potential of them getting clients, tenants was very high. The prices, even the rent was very high. It looked lucrative. Today, having no tenant for the last, I think, 3 years since he invested in those apartments, he has now to compete with another 450 new apartments in the same area code. So this emotion is not just based on just cryptocurrency. It's in everywhere when it comes to investing. When so it's good just to note today I'm talking about crypto because most of the time we just talk about cryptocurrency. So humans are inherent emotional beings. We love, we hate, we fear, we experience greed, we question our decision. All these emotions are the enemy of a successful investor or a successful trader. The key to trading is emotional discipline. If intelligence were the key, there will be a lot more people making money from trading or any investment. And why I don't want just to say trading, I want to talk about investment, because how many of us have put money in other investments and it's all gone? It's gone. But it's because number one, it's because most of the time we are controlled by our emotions. So this gentleman was talking about knowing how to control emotions while trading, especially Bitcoin or any other asset, will likely be the difference between success and failure. Maintaining a calm and calculating demeanor is the key to making money as a trader or an investor. So emotional traders, most common mistakes. Here are some common mistakes that emotional traders do. And number one is overtrading. Overtrading. Number two is trading impulsively. Number two is revenge trading. Number three is missing trade after trade. Number four is hesitating, procrastination. Number five is chasing the market. Number six is entering late and taking premature profits. Number eight is moving stop losses too close to the market or too far away from the market. And then breaking their rules or blowing up all their accounts. These are some of the highlights that an emotional trader, the common mistakes an emotional trader does. And I guess when you're coming to the cryptocurrency or any investment, these are some of the mistakes you've done. As a person, I've gone through that. I've done these mistakes not once, not twice, not thrice. And of course, like I say, experience is usually the best teacher. So it's not been easy learning, especially from your own experience. So of course, when I was reading these, trust you me, one thing I said is that it sounds familiar. Yes, this is what I went through. This is what I went through when I was studying. So when you start trading professionally, it's good to do some things, and I want just to highlight the key points. Number one, acknowledge fear versus greed. Acknowledge fear versus greed. Fear and greed are two most common emotions that traders experience, and these account for most of the poor decisions that lose them money. Fear and greed. I think even Hakanun was talking about the same thing, fear and greed. So just let me highlight this so that you can be able to read it. Fear often is caused by trading too much. Just 1 second. Let me allow some people in. There are people who wants to join. Just 1 second. Okay. So fear is often caused by trading too much size, compounding the consequences of bad decision. Traders make often mistakes when they are too long of a position that they would not make otherwise. So fear is caused by that. So nobody lacks fear when it comes to cryptocurrency or any investment. There is that element of fear. But like I said, today we are talking about emotions when it comes to any market. So number one is just acknowledge that there is greed. I think for greed, just to talk about greed, the downside of greed is causes traders to chase the market or FOMO. Bad positions. An example is buying after a large sudden move higher when the market is already overbought and demand is warning. So you find there are people who will come always late and they get to lose their. The other thing is failing to plan. Remember our first topic the first time we started was what? It was plan. You're gonna plan, and we talked about all that. The other thing is trade. You're gonna treat trading like a business. Treat trading like a business, and then never watch the scoreboard. This is what I was talking about, the charts. Don't keep on checking the trends, and then know when to trade. Know when to trade, and then trade with proper size. Trade with proper size, and then have a life outside of trading. Have a life the link so that you read them on your own time at your own to give the hosting rights to Louis so that he can tell us what has been happening in the market. So, Louis, I hope you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. Hope you can hope you can hear me.
We can
you
hear
hear
you
me?
loud and clear. So,
Okay.
yeah, we can hear you. So let me just give you the hosting rights so that you can. Let's go ahead and.
Yeah, thanks. I think I've seen the hosting right. So that was a very good rundown by Lawrence about emotions to watch out when, especially during this time, because I'm sure I can see we are about 9 people on the call. I think we also actually 10, and I think we have some guys on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. So I think the key thing that Lawrence has brought out is that this time when Bitcoin is on a rally. Even if you take a quick sample right now, as I said, the 10 of us, if you ask yourself, there's that thing that has come to you that, hey, Bitcoin inaenda, I think I need to buy. Then that is how actually the market works. It's a combination of very many emotions. I think I'll just share my screen. Then I think we can get starting. I saw something today when Lawrence was presenting, and I think this summarizes what actually Lawrence was talking about. The oldest guy in stock market and also in the financial industry is Warren Buffett. I think we all know him. And he summarizes this quote way back, I think a few years back. He said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." That takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot. By the time you're getting to the market, you put in X amount of money, and then you're seeing the market is going the other way. That's where now you need to be. Now you need to balance. Where are you? Are you becoming too much greedy, or are you becoming fearful? And when you balance that out, that will turn out to make money out of you. Because at the end of the day, it's you want to make something out of the market, because that is what the market is offering you. So I'll just go straight into the news, and I'll start with of course, about 97% of Bitcoin addresses now in profit, just based on what Lawrence was saying. And this is what, for somebody to be in profit right now, they're supposed to have held Bitcoins even when the price was going down. Because now for them, they had the long term. That's why these addresses they're enjoying about, like they're basically in profit due to the rally. So the article says in brief that 97 of all Bitcoin addresses are currently in profit. This follows a steady rise in Bitcoin price in the recent months, as you've seen. If Bitcoin price continues to rise, even more addresses could be profitable in the near future. So that we'll get to see how that plays out. Secondly, I think on the same in terms of wallets, that is about currently we have more than 10,000 Bitcoin addresses. That is by 2020. That is now with the way the rally has been happening. So this was data by a company called Sentiment. shared the data that shows cryptocurrency whales are still confident in their digital assets, and Bitcoin in particular. So I think we've talked about who are the whales. Whales are the people who are basically moving a lot of volumes in the market, because this is how they make money, and that is one good thing depending on which side of the movement you are. And all that come about, again, developing that sense of knowing when to buy, knowing when to sell, knowing when to sit and wait. At times, everybody is itchy to either buy or to sell, depending on the time. So, meanwhile, former Bitcoin Jesus, it's called Roger Ver, one of the early guys who got into Bitcoin. Actually, is the person who is now developing Bitcoin Cash. Takes another quite stab at Bitcoin, trolling its digital gold title. So he has been, the funny thing with this guy called Roger Ver is one of the first Bitcoin proponents. Then, due to disagreement in the developer community, he decided to like fork Bitcoin. Last time we talked about forking and also upgrades. So he decided to go to veer off the Bitcoin protocol, and he developed his own called Bitcoin Cash. And he's been talking really bad about Bitcoin, but yeah, that's how the market is liberal. No, everybody can have his own word. But in summary, according to the chart shared by Alaska Farm, the number of wallets containing that is at least 10,000 BTC. That is about $159 million at the current Bitcoin rate of 15,826 per coin, as it at 2020 all-time high of 111. So in short, what it says, a total number of 10,000 wallets, a total number of 111 wallets in total have more than 10,000 in Bitcoin. I think I can repeat that again. A total of 111 wallets have more than 10,000 Bitcoins in the wallet as of this year. So that tells you the amount of people who have been actually growing their portfolio as the price continues to rise. Moving forward, I hope we can all hear and see my screen as we continue, and I hope I'm not going too fast. I hope that's okay, the speed, or am I talking too fast, or can you see my screen? Maybe we just type on something on the chat so that I can know where to slow down or to go fast. So another news again, Bitcoin is now the 20th biggest asset by market cap. That is in terms of so okay, Valerie says okay, nice. So Bitcoin market cap is bigger than PayPal, Verizon, and Citigroup, even Zoom. So I think what is market cap? Market cap is basically the amount of the value of in USD in terms of the coins in circulation. So maybe if I can just show you that very fast, what coin market cap means. So I'll go to a site called Coin Market Cap. Then we can basically just show you that what it means, so that we're at least on the same page. We don't get to miss out. So if you go to this website called Coin Market Cap, it shows you that Bitcoin, of course, is the top coin, as you can see over there. The price is currently is at 16,060. In the last 7 days, it has gone up by 3.5%. The market cap is $297 billion. So how is it calculated? So it is calculated by taking, if you look at the last column, the one that shows circulating supply. Currently, Bitcoins that have been mined are 18,538 and 368 Bitcoins in total, out of the 21 million. So if you multiply this price by this amount of Bitcoins, that is the 18.5 million times the price of Bitcoin today, then you'll get the $297 billion. And that's what says that that market cap is higher than PayPal in terms of value. It's higher than Verizon. It's higher than Citigroup. It's even higher than Zoom. So that's how basically the Bitcoin market is growing day by day, and that is most because of the increase in price. Moving forward, again, still sticking to market cap, Bitcoin overtakes PayPal market cap, sets sights on Visa, MasterCard, and biggest banks next. So I chose this because PayPal is one of the companies that have actually gotten into Bitcoin. They are actually incorporating their customers, and so they are like in the US alone. PayPal supports more than 300 million customers, more than 300 million, and they have actually opened that for them to be able to buy Bitcoin within the PayPal ecosystem. There may be issues that may come up later because PayPal is a company that is that works under the jurisdiction of the US. So they may at any point, the way I see it, they may sanction PayPal to give them data of who's been buying out of Bitcoin or who's been selling. Because at the end of the day, the government wants taxes, and that's one of the ways government will be coming into taxing now Bitcoin. That is my view. But just know the Bitcoin market cap is actually overtaken PayPal. It is now getting sites on Visa, Mastercard, and other biggest banks in the coming few days or months. So moving forward to the next slide. Let me see. Yeah, so another one again, Michael Slayer, we talked about him last week. He's one of the, he's the guy that runs a micro strategy, the biggest company that that invested a big holdings into Bitcoin, and actually says by a tweet that Apple could generate more than 100 billion or more in shareholder value if they integrated Bitcoin into Apple Pay. Built a secure crypto wallet into iPhone and began buying BTC with their treasury reserves. That is, I think he was now tweeting the guy of Apple. I'm very sure this will happen very soon, depending on how the development goes. Because Jack Dorsey is now the guy of Twitter. I think you can even see the Bitcoin emoji, which is actually courtesy of Jack Dorsey. But now Michael says is actually coming straight to Apple that you guys should actually look at how you can get more sales in terms of now integrating Bitcoin addresses into Apple computers, especially the iPhone. Moving forward, JP Morgan, that's another bank. In a big title says JP Morgan says institution ditching gold ETFs for Bitcoin. Again, that's another avenue that is opening up for those guys who've been trading in shares, futures, and options, and now they are now preferring gold. They are actually opting away from gold ETF to Bitcoin CME's ETFs. So that is what the article says. Maybe I can just read the first paragraph. So JP Morgan, the largest US bank by total assets, notes that Bitcoin is eating away at demand for gold ETFs in a report shared by Michael Sonnenschein. So that is the managing director of Grayscale, which is again another biggest asset management company at the moment in the US. Who was actually, I think they are now looking at about 9.8 billion. Remember a few weeks ago we were talking. Then they were, I think they were saying they were like in 5 billion in asset under management. Now because of the Bitcoin price, that has gone up to I think 9.8 billion within a couple of few weeks. So that's how powerful the crypto is. But always remember, it's you need to know when to buy and when to sell. So moving forward to the next slide. Again, I think PayPal, again, as I talked about earlier, opens crypto services to millions of eligible account US holders in the US. So again, that is, I think I talked about that. So the payment processing giant PayPal announced on Tuesday that all eligible PayPal account holders in the US can now buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency directly with PayPal. This news follows the company's announcements to support crypto assets at the end of October. Well, that is, I can say it's a good development coming from such corporates that they are now giving attention to Bitcoin, and that is what actually, in my view, that actually has given Bitcoin a very good support in this bull run. So let's see how this develop. Again, as I say, out of caution, work with PayPal with caution. That is from what I've experienced. But at the moment, I can say personally, my PayPal account actually is locked with about I think with about $200. It's I think almost 1 year now, because I actually bought Bitcoin. I sold Bitcoin and somebody sent me via PayPal. Because of that, they locked it. Now all of a sudden, it's the same company now again who are now doing what? enabling people to buy Bitcoin through their platform. So it is a risk that you have to weigh at the end of the day. So yeah, moving forward, another US company, it's called, as you can see there, US company now lets travelers pay for passports with Bitcoin. So again, these are now what you call crypto adoption. People are more and more getting to see the need for them to get paid in Bitcoin, because they are looking at it in the long term. So just reading a bit of the news, it says Venezuela Visa, a firm providing passport and visa services in the US, says it now accepts payment for Bitcoin. So that is quite good. So it's basically not all services. Only customers can use Bitcoin only to fund passport renewals, name changes, and passport. So it's similar to like now you have these companies. I think in Kenya we have, especially when you are applying for a passport in the Schengen region, I think it's called Visa Services or something. It's in Westlands. So it's a similar company whereby they process visa applications on behalf of the, like now, let's say Australia, let's say South Africa. They do all the verification. So for them, they have chosen to ask their clients that we can take payment in Bitcoin, which is actually, again, as I said, quite interesting. Moving forward, US is actually in the midst of an election. We are going to see how that plays out. But at the moment, we've seen that there's one like legislature, as you can see on the screen. Biden confirms crypto savvy Gary Gensler will lead financial policy transition team. So you see, that's how now governments are slowly like integrating Bitcoin and digital currencies into their workings. So Gary Gensler, a Washington and Wall Street veteran who has closely studied the budding cryptocurrency field, will lead the financial policy transition team for projected US that is elect Joe Biden. He's going to see how that comes out. So he's actually a former chairman of a Commodity Futures and Trading Commission, that is CFTC, similar to, I think, CMA in Kenya. It's basically the authority that regularizes trade of futures or options or securities. Gensler was tapped to lead the agency review team for the Federal Reserve Banking and Securities Regulations. The Biden campaign formally announced Tuesday that he was the likely contender for that particular post. So again, I think it's good vibe coming from the incoming presidential government led by Joe Biden. So on the same, these perhaps on the downside, we've seen, I think we've talked about here early that the way money is being printed is what actually makes Bitcoin grow. Because with Bitcoin, with gold, you cannot print more. So printing about 1.7 trillion for climate change, that is what this article says. So how Joe Biden's administration aims to push the Green New Deal. So they're basically pumping more money into the company in the name of climate change. But again, this will it will have a big impact in the US dollar value going forward in terms of how the value in exchange, mostly in countries that base their currencies in the US dollar. And that's the narrative that has been going around, and that is what is giving actually Bitcoin more drive for it to go up. So just going by it briefly, in 2020, the US Federal Reserve has injected an enormous amount of US dollars to special interest in banking sector in order to combat the economic effects stemming from the COVID outbreak. This week, the central bank published its financial stability report, and the Fed discussed addressing climate change for the first time. A number of economists and analysts now believe the Fed plans to help President-elect Joe Biden's transition team to print 1.7 trillion for the Democrats' plan, the new Green Deal. So again, at the end of the day, as an investor, you need to know where your value is stable, and that's why crypto for us is a go-to platform. Moving forward to China now. That is coming now. You can see over there, a major Chinese bank selling bonds worth 3 billion for Bitcoin. That again is quite huge, coming from the Asian country. That, and you remember, the US and China, they are like sort of a war, as in a trade war going on. Who is going faster than the other one? And so far, I think China has been on the forefront. And by the article, if you I read very fast, China Constitutional Bank, one of the big four banks in China, is selling 3 billion in bonds that can be paid for with Bitcoin. The bonds will be listed on a regulated Malaysian digital asset exchange. The Belgian-based, that is a CCB, is selling 3 billion bonds for Bitcoin. Okay, and then this is the first security issued by Chinese on blockchain. The publication added, noting, let me just read that. The deal also allows investors to trade those China Concession Bank digital certificates using Bitcoin on Fansang Exchange, a digital exchange licensed by the financial regulator in the Labuan, that is in Malaysia. So again, that is again quite good progress coming from China. And moving forward to Australia, again, in terms of regulations and policies, Australian Senator calls for blockchain adoption to lift financial regulation compliance. So that was said by Senator Andrew Bragg, who also believes Australia needs to take advantage of Hong Kong's current turmoil in order to improve its global competitiveness. So again, that's how smart governments, smart countries actually embracing and basically getting the best of. They are basically riding the wave. They don't want to be left behind, and that's my wish for most of us here, and also most countries who are watching this from the sidelines. Moving forward, I think we come back to Kenya. Nigeria hopes blockchain will generate about 10 billion revenue by 2020. I think for any government, this is a good income, and no one would want to miss such income. So there's a I think it's a authority. It's called NITDA director said, we want Nigeria to be strategically placed to capture the value from this economic potential of blockchain. So that is who is NITDA? Let's see there. So the Director General for Nigeria's National Information Technology Development, I think similar to our own ICT, has said the country could potentially expect a revenue stream between 6 billion to 10 billion from blockchain technology in the next 10 years. So again, that is how smart governments are pushing themselves. I don't know. I believe most of us, through such sessions, you're actually seeing the bigger picture, and you are basically positioning yourself. Moving forward to the UN, as I conclude. So UN actually, this was actually done 6 days ago. So UN calls for blockchain to fight rampant corruption in Kenya. I think we've talked about this before. Blockchain can actually solve corruption issues, but we know most of the old people or the old dogs, let me use that word, are fearful of such technology because there is no way they're going to corrupt it. So integrating blockchain technology can help Kenya save billions of dollars lost each year to corruption. The US, the United Nations Drug and Crimes Agency has stated, according to the agency, the technology could also foster trust in government and allow automation of public contracts. So that is quite a huge statement coming from the UN, because already they're actually using part of Ethereum, I think, payments to on refugee settlements or something. Already they are actually using that. So this was the advice to the Kenyan community. So I think with that, I think that will I'll end it there, unless there is any other chat or concern. I'll be glad to answer. I think Lawrence has possibly attended most of the questions on the chat. So let me stop the share, and then yeah. So I think I'll end there. Let me see what anybody has to say, or whether Lawrence, you have something. But for me, thank you very much, and I'm hoping to see you next week again for another Bitcoin 101. So thank you, and bye-bye. So let me make Lawrence the host, then I can, just a moment. So let me make Lawrence the host. Yeah, yes. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Thanks, Louise, for that. That was detailed updates on what is going on globally in terms of crypto adoption and also new developments coming. And there's something you shared about Nigeria on Nigeria planning to make over $10 billion by 2030. I read something also on the same in regards to our country, but for them, they were not really talking about blockchain and digital currencies. They were talking about the fintech industry. I was just trying to retrieve that link, but I don't seem to find it. I wish I found it so that we could also like ask ourselves if Kenya is thinking of like making. It was, I think, 1 point something trillion from fintech industry, and the question that came to my mind was, if they are talking about fintech, where how much percent have they put on blockchain and other digital assets? That's what was going through my mind, and I guess if I find it, I'll just share it on our Telegram group so that you can also read it and get to understand where the world is heading. So with that, I think we'll call it a day. But before we leave, then to some announcements. Next week on Friday, masterclass, and we'll be teaching a whole of you now how to get into an exchange. Basically, how to load money there. I think currently we have one exchange that can allow you to use M-Pesa directly over there. We are just waiting for just the go ahead so that we can share the charts. We can share the posters, and I hope next week on Friday we'll create time. It will be just 2 hours on Friday where you can come take part in our first masterclass, Kenyan masterclass, this November, and get to really understand. Because, like we say, you have to do your own research, but you're gonna do your own research based on if you have the right information. So I want to wish all of you a blessed weekend. Keep checking out for our adverts in terms of the masterclass. Share with your family and friends. It will be free. Just come join us and let's grow together in the space. And like we shared today, let's keep our heads level by controlling our emotions as we get to invest in different markets and more so in the cryptocurrency space. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless your businesses. It's always a pleasure to have all of you. Remember, the recording is on YouTube. You can have it over there. If you have any suggestion for any topic you want us to tackle next week, kindly feel free also drop us a message so that we can prepare it in advance. So God bless you all. Have a great day.